year 922, a scholar from Baghdad traveled 1,000 miles north and witnessed something so shocking that he wrote down every single detail. It is the most complete eyewitness account of a Viking funeral ever recorded, and it is harrowing. His name was Ahmad ibn Fadlan, a diplomat sent far from home. His journey took him to the banks of the great Volga River. There, he met the Norse traders, the Vikings of the eastern rivers, and while he was among them, one of their great chieftains died. What Ibn Fadlan saw next, he recorded in astonishing detail, and it's the only reason we know this story at all. First, they placed the dead chieftain in a temporary grave, and there he waited. For 10 whole days. Because a funeral like this took time to prepare. They built him a ship. They sewed him fine new clothes, but a chieftain, they believed, could not enter the next world alone. So his people asked a terrible question: which of his slaves would choose to die with him? And one young woman volunteered. From that moment, there was no turning back. For the next 10 days, she was treated like an honored guest, dressed, given drink, and sung to. Overseeing it all was a figure Ibn Fadlan found chilling. An old woman they called the Angel of Death. When the day came, they drew the ship up onto the shore. They sat the dead chieftain inside, upright, dressed in his finest. Around him they placed food, drink, and weapons. Everything a powerful man might need. Then came the sacrifices. A dog, 2 horses, cattle, a rooster and a hen, all offered, and placed aboard the ship. Everything he might need in the next world would burn with him. Now came the part Ibn Fadlan could barely believe. The young woman was lifted 3 times above a wooden frame, like a doorway. Each time she said she could see beyond it, her dead family and a green paradise waiting. She was given a strong drink and led toward the ship, and as she stepped aboard, the men began to bang their shields, loudly, deliberately, so that no one would hear what came next. Inside the tent, the Angel of Death did her work. The account is grim. A cord drawn tight, a blade between the ribs. It was over quickly. And the crowd, Ibn Fadlan wrote, never once stopped drumming. Then came the fire. The chieftain's closest male relative stepped forward, naked, and walked backward toward the ship, refusing to look at it. He lit the ship, and stepped away. And the whole thing, ship, chieftain, offerings, and the young woman, was set ablaze. Ibn Fadlan watched it burn to ash in what felt like moments. Over the ashes, they raised a great mound, and on top, a wooden post, carved with the dead man's name. And here is the detail that has echoed for 1,000 years. One of the Norse turned to Ibn Fadlan's interpreter, and laughed at him. "You Arabs are fools," he said. "You bury the ones you love in the ground, where the worms eat them. We burn them in a single moment, and they enter paradise that very instant." To the Rus, this was not horror, it was an honor, a shortcut to heaven. Everything we know about it, we owe to one curious traveler who wrote it all down. His account is one of the most valuable and most disturbing windows into the Viking world we will ever have. A real event, a real eyewitness, written down 1100 years ago. He came as a stranger and left with a story the world still cannot forget. If that gripped you, hit subscribe. We are far from done with the Vikings. Next time on the Grubby Past, the warriors who worked themselves into a mindless howling rage before battle. Maybe drugged, maybe something stranger. The original berserkers.